Hey Isaac, I'm sorry to tell you like this, but I want to break off our engagement.
What? First, you didn't come home last night without even messaging me about what you were doing. And now this? What happened? Was it something I did?
No, it doesn't have anything to do with you. Well, actually, yeah, I guess it kinda does.
What is it, Melissa? Let's calm down for a minute and talk things over, okay?
I found a guy who's better for me than you are.
Are you being serious right now?
Yeah, super serious. Oh, Isaac, sure, you're working for a pretty good company, making a pretty good salary, and are all around a pretty good guy. But compared to Mitch? So yeah, I decided that the best thing for me would be to break up with you and marry Mitch.
Mitch?
I would say you're better off not knowing about him, but since it might actually be a chance for you to do some self-improvement, let me tell you all about what a dream he is. He took over an entire IT company from his dad 3 years ago, and all the tech magazines are calling him the rising star of the industry.
I see.
So anyway, moving right along, I know this will probably be difficult for you, so I'll get my rich new fiancé Mitch to give you some money as a compensation for me breaking off the engagement. Go ahead and name your price. He can pay it with no trouble.
No, let's not just move right along with this conversation. We need to talk about this in person, Melissa. Our parents have already met. Our wedding plans are underway. We're not some high school couple who can just break up by text. What are you thinking?
Oh, come on. Don't go getting all sentimental on me, Isaac. We're not legally married yet, and we still haven't put down the deposit on the wedding venue, so what's the big deal? And like I said, Mitch will give you some money as an apology. Let's both be grown-ups here and agree to amicably part ways, okay? Oh, and by the way, I already have all of my important things moved out, so I won't be coming back to the apartment.
Melissa, you can't do this. Come on. Let's meet up and talk things over. Please?
No thanks, bye-bye.
Hey, Mitch. Sorry to message you out of the blue like this. There's something very important I need to talk to you about as soon as possible. So please message me back once you see this. Oh, hey there, Isaac. Wow, I think the last time I talked with you was at my going away party at the office 4 years ago. How have you been? Sorry, Mitch. As much as I'd like to, I don't have time to catch up with you right now. Oh, wow. You sound like it's something serious. What's up? I'm gonna get right to the point. Do you know a woman named Melissa? Melissa? No, I can't say I know of any woman named Melissa. Well, I know of a few, but none I would consider close acquaintances. Why do you ask? Well, it's my fiancé. Oh, awesome! You getting married? Congratulations! Well, I was getting married. She just broke up with me. Huh? Wow. Well, I'm very sorry to hear about that. Did you want someone to talk to about that? No, I'm not looking for a counseling session. All right. Well, then how exactly does this concern me? Melissa said the reason she was breaking up with me was because she's getting married to Mitch. That is, you? What? Hold on just 1 second. I do have a girlfriend, but her name's definitely not Melissa. And like I said, I don't even know any Melissa personally either. So whoever she's talking about, it isn't me. Okay. Yeah, I had a suspicion you'd say that. Would you mind telling me more? Why is your fiancée all of a sudden going around telling you she's getting married to me? It's a really long story. Do you think we could meet up in person in the next few days? If you want, we can meet somewhere close to your place. Yeah, that would probably be for the best. I'd like to figure out exactly what is going on here before it gets out of hand. Thanks, Mitch. I really appreciate it. Can you come to my apartment? It's right across from the station on 4th Avenue. 4th Avenue? The last I remember, you were living on North Main. Yeah, I was. But due to certain circumstances, I had to move. I actually just moved in here a few weeks ago. Certain circumstances, you say? I don't know if it has anything to do with what's going on with your fiancé, but if there's no point in hiding it, I'll tell you about it when you actually get here. Actually, could you come over today? I just so happen to have the rest of the day off. Wow, that's perfect. I had the day off today too. Awesome! As long as you're coming over, I can introduce you to my girlfriend who's just moved in with me. Let me know when you get close. I'll go out to the street to wait for you. Thanks. I'll let you know.
Hey again, Isaac. Just so you don't get any ideas in your head about the two of us getting back together, I thought I should let you know that Isaac and I just got married. It might seem sudden, but we were so desperate to finally be together. I hope you don't get too beat up about it. Not that I really care anymore. Mitch is way hotter than you, and he's filthy stinking rich. I feel like the luckiest woman in the world to have landed such a catch. It's too bad things didn't work out between us, Isaac. Maybe if you had a little more ambition, we could have really had something special. So yeah, that's all. If you see us on the street, pretend you don't know me, okay?
Hello, Melissa. Thanks for the report. For the record, I have absolutely zero interest in getting back together with you. But there's one last thing I'd like to confirm before we part ways forever.
Fine. What do you want? This had better not to be anything stupid like, did you ever really love me, or is there really nothing I can do to get you to stay, or something. Go ahead, ask your question, but make it quick so I can get back to the newly-wed life with Mitch.
Are you at Mitch's apartment right now?
That's it? Weird question, but yeah, I am. I've been gradually moving my stuff into his apartment over the last few weeks, ever since he proposed to me. Ah, somebody pinch me. I must be dreaming. I'm the wife of a wealthy and powerful CEO living on the top floor of a luxury apartment building. I can't imagine how anyone could live with less than this.
About that apartment. By any chance, are you in a high-rise apartment building on North Main? Room number 7501?
What the? That's super duper creepy. How do you know that?
I guess you didn't know this, but Mitch and I happen to be acquainted.
Really?
Yeah, we used to work at the same company for a while. His department and mine worked together frequently. So I ran into him quite often up until he left to take over his dad's company.
Oh, well, small world, I guess. Whatever, just don't forget that even though you might be old friends with my new husband, he's way more of a man than you'll ever be. So don't even think about trying to talk to him, got it?
There is just one more thing I'd like you to know.
Get over yourself. I don't care about anything you have to say.
I don't know. It seems like you would be pretty interested in hearing that Mitch moved out of that apartment 2 weeks ago.
What?
And he's also dating a woman who isn't you.
Seriously, Isaac, grow up. I get it. You're a sore loser because I broke up with you to be with a better man, but that doesn't give you the right to make up bizarre lies about my new husband. It's over and we're never getting back together. Give it up.
I'm not lying. I just heard about all of this from Mitch himself. He just introduced me to his girlfriend, who moved in with him.
What are you talking about?
I'm also in the same room as Mitch and his girlfriend right now. We're in his new apartment, the one he moved into 2 weeks ago.
Isaac, the lie has gone too far enough. Are you this desperate to get back together with me? Well, it's not going to work. No amount of lies from your mouth will ever break me and Mitch apart.
You said you just got married to Mitch, right? Send me a picture of him.
Fine, here he is. There, is that enough for you? Now, will you finally accept that Mitch and I are together?
Oh boy. Oh boy. This is, yikes.
What?
Oh my god. I can't believe this. That is not Mitch.
What? Yes, it is.
I mean, sure. I guess they do look alike, but that's not Mitch.
Yes, it is.
No, that's Mitch's younger brother, Mike.
What? His younger brother?
Ask him yourself.
Fine, you wait right there. Well, I just asked him and it was Mike.
Told you so. Seriously though, how did you not realize that?
Well, I heard he goes by his initials MCs, so I always just called him that.
Well, they do both have the same initials. But that was quite the colossal mistake on your part. You never even called him by his full name?
When I first saw Mitch, he was being interviewed on a news program for a local TV station. He was so handsome and confident. I fell absolutely head over heels for him. I want to get closer to him somehow, so I started looking all over for his information and eventually found his address. I pretended to be an old classmate of his wanting to catch up. Then once we started dating for real, I was like, oh, oops, I guess I was wrong about you being my old classmate. Oh, well, and we just kept seeing each other.
That's kind of marriage fraud, you know?
But as long as he wanted to marry me, so what? I knew that I wanted to marry him.
Such a shame you had this realization while you were engaged to me.
I left all the marriage paperwork to him. I just signed my name on the places he showed me. I guess I never thought to look at what he wrote for his own name. And I mean, they have basically the same face.
Yeah, they were only born a year apart, so they've been mistaken for twins a bunch of times throughout their lives. But there are some distinct differences between the two of them, and once you figure out what their particular features are, it gets pretty easy to tell who is who.
I don't believe this is happening. But Mitch did live in this apartment, right? I didn't get that wrong, did I? When did Mike start living here, and why?
Apparently, it all started about 6 months ago when Mike started living in Mitch's old apartment. Mike had to leave his own place for some reason, and Mitch allowed Mike to stay with him until he settled on a new place. It was only supposed to be for a few weeks or so. But Mike kept coming up with some more and more excuses, and before he knew it, a year had gone by and he was still living there. Furthermore, Mitch figured out that Mike had been bringing a woman into the house while he was out of town on business. Mitch got tired of dealing with it, so 2 weeks ago he left Mike to take care of the old apartment and moved into a new one with his girlfriend.
Wait, so you're saying that I can keep on living with Mike in this incredible high-rise apartment? Awesome! This place is incredible! Maybe being Mike's wife won't be so bad after all. I guess I'll stay with him then.
Well, I'm glad to hear you decided to stay true to your husband. Boy, it sure is a shame you broke up with me. That's a real bummer. How will I ever recover?
Huh, you can cut the sarcasm. I know you're devastated. Killer apartment, then that means that he's still a better man than you, even if he's not as much of a man as Mitch. If you'll excuse me, I think I'll go and cuddle with my new husband. So, what if we got together through a misunderstanding? Our love for each other is the real thing.
Mike's actually unemployed.
Huh?
Yeah, that's the reason he had to leave his old apartment. He got fired from his job and moved in with Mitch until he got back on his feet, which he never did. Are you sure you're okay with a husband like that?
Is that true?
Oh, and one other thing. He's being evicted from that apartment in 2 days because he can't pay this month's rent. So I wouldn't go getting too comfortable if I were you.
In 2 days? 2 days? Hey again, Isaac. So I'm gonna come back to your place tomorrow, okay?
Huh?
Yeah, I changed my mind about breaking up with you. I realized you actually are a pretty good guy, so we can get married after all.
No thanks.
No thanks?
Yep. Breaking up with you is definitely the right choice.
No, it's okay. Don't worry. Mike and I just got divorced.
You think that's the only issue here? I have no interest in marrying you anymore.
But why?
Do I really need to explain myself?
Yeah, I don't get it at all. What's your problem?
You cheated on me for 3 months, broke up with me, married another guy, and divorced him when you learned he wasn't as rich as you thought. If you really need me to explain it any more than that, then yikes.
Come on, give me a break.
As for the breakup settlement, you'll be hearing from my lawyer in the next few days.
Are you really gonna sue me?
From this point on, anytime you want to contact me, you'll have to do it through my lawyer.
You can't do this to me, Isaac. You have to marry me. Please, pretty please. I'll have nowhere to live without you.
The next day, Melissa came back to the apartment we used to share. I had already talked to a friend who let me stay at their place for a while, so fortunately, I avoided having to deal with her. I also contacted Melissa's parents. I told them everything that had happened in the lead up to our engagement being broken off, and they said they'd have her move back in with them to see if they can turn her life around. My lawyer went over to negotiate a settlement for her affair and breaking off our engagement, and as of now, we are officially broken up. She couldn't pay the settlement, of course, so her parents agreed to foot the bill and force her to work to pay them back. She's only ever worked at a part-time job before now, and since that wasn't going to be enough, she's now working 3 jobs in a desperate attempt to pay her parents back before their deadline. And by deadline, I mean if she doesn't pay it all back within 2 years, they'll kick her out of their house and disown her. As for Mike, he really was just too dumb to realize that Melissa was an engaged woman who mistook him for his brother. So I honestly feel kind of bad for him. Hopefully, he'll be able to hold down a job and turn his life around.
Helen, I'm coming over to your place right now. What? Why are you questioning that? Tomorrow is going to be the 4th of July, right? So, we are coming over today and we will be staying at your place for the next couple of nights. This means that both your daughter-in-law and your son are on their way to your house right now, and you need to be ready for us. London? We should be arriving there just before dinner time, so make sure to have something fancy made for the both of us to eat. I can try my best to get something ready for you guys. We are already out of the house now and on our way, so you can't tell us no to that now. What? Lucas, you should be finishing up with your work for today now, right? Do you mind swinging by the supermarket on your way home from there to pick some more things for me?
Hi, honey. I think I can do that. What all do you want me to pick up for you?
Can you get me another dozen eggs and also a large cabbage? Also, you'll be passing by that cake shop that I really like. Could you stop in there and find a small cake that can feed 4 for dessert?
A cake? And for 4 people to eat? Who else is going to be at the house tonight?
Axel and London are coming. I got a couple of texts from London a little bit ago, saying that they were both coming back to our house.
This again? What I never get about these kinds of situations is it's always London who ends up texting us about what she wants to do, and never Axel himself.
Well, perhaps Axel likes her to be in charge of all those things, and if that's the case, then I have nothing else to say. Anyway, this plan came out of nowhere from London, so we'll have to have dinner for 4 now. I'm currently working on that now, so I'd like you to stop and grab those things for me, so that we'll have enough for everyone tonight.
Sounds good. I'll try to make it quick.
Sorry for bringing this up to you so late, but thank you for understanding and doing that for me. Helen, it shouldn't be too much longer before we pull into your driveway. Is the driveway a good place for us to park the car? What? So you both are almost here then? And you guys decided to take the car this time? What about taking the bus like all those times before? We decided we wanted to drive ourselves this time. Do you have a problem with that? I'm sorry, but we only have 1 parking space at our townhouse, so you're going to have to find somewhere else to park your car. There is a parking garage just down the road that you can use, and it should only be around $15 a day. Huh? But that would cost like $60 by the end of this trip. How about you take your car out of that parking spot and park it over at the parking garage so that we can park our car in your spot? Why should we be having to do something like that for you? You both should have the money to park in that car garage, right? Huh? Listen, London, you already started off the wrong note by only telling me that you were heading over to stay here with my husband and I last minute. So I have been having to get things like food ready for you both as well as a room. So please do something about parking yourselves so that I may continue to focus making you guys your dinner for tonight. I have 2 pots on the stove right now boiling, so I cannot go out to move the car anyway. I will talk to you both when you arrive here. What? You jerk! Excuse me, London. What you've done was just a step too far over the line. What do you think you're doing throwing all that food I just made for you guys into the garbage like that? Well, listen here, Helen. Whoever said for you to make dinner yourself like that? Your older son and his wife are coming home to be with you guys, and you chose to make us trash for dinner? You think my cooking is trash? Honestly, you don't seem to think about anyone else beside yourself. At a time like this, you should be bringing us something fancy like sushi. I wanted sushi, and not just the stuff from the local gas station, but the good stuff from a sushi restaurant in town. Or perhaps it's this. Since your husband is still working in a factory as a base-level employee, you guys don't have enough money for good sushi, right? You both have to live the most basic lives at this age, so you can't even imagine what fancy food tastes like. My husband is making enough money every year where we do not have to sleep under a bridge or starve. And we happen to enjoy living a simple life, making food at home, and enjoying things like movies and walks together. So what, you're trying to tell me is that you're both poor, right? But come on now, you have to start doing better than that, because guess what? Today is the day your very important older son and his super cute wife are staying with you. So get us some damn sushi, you low-life trash. All you have to do is spend the money that you'd normally spend on yourselves each day for food, about 2 to 3 days worth of money, and spend that sushi for us tonight. That should work for your husband and you, right? And actually, I'm already on my way to the sushi restaurant down the other side of the street, and I'll be getting dinner from there. That $200 you had in the drawer is going to be used for dinner, so I made sure to take that with me. What? Hey, wait! That was all we had left for this month's groceries. and I will be using it very carefully in tonight's dinner. London, you get back here right now!
Hey, honey, are you still awake?
What? Oh, hi, Lucas. Yes, I'm still awake. You do realize I'm in the same house as you right now, so you don't have to text me if you want to talk.
Just now, Axel came over to my office to chat with me.
Did something happen to him?
He came to hand me back that $200 that London took from us, and thought that he could hand it to me while she's not awake. Also, he has something he wanted to talk to us about. Originally, the plan was that he'd come back to our house in secret, without having London come along with him. But she ended up finding out about his plan, and so he had to make up a lie saying that the both of them would come to stay here for the 4th. And well, right now, Helen is sleeping in the next room over to my office, and so I don't want her to hear Axel and I talking, or me coming to talk to you.
Ah, so that's why we're texting instead. Well, how about I get out of the bed and come to your office?
You can do that, but be really quiet so that you don't wake her up, and please shut the door quietly when you come here. I'll make sure to turn on my noise machine to try and mute out our voices, and then we can talk about what to do with London.
Understood. Hey, Helen! Get that damn bath ready for me! It's not even 10 in the morning yet and you're already yelling? The bath? I always get the bath every morning, and today will be no different. I never knew about that. Jesus! I came back pretty late last night and didn't get into the shower before I crashed, so you had to know that I'd be needing a bath this morning, right? Have you never had guests over to your house before? You need to be more considerate of me and make sure the bath is ready by the time I'm waking up. Ah, or could it be that you and your husband don't want to have the water and heating bill go up? And so that's why you guys never use the bath. That's exactly what I expected from two poor people. We are not as poor as you seem you want to think, London. But look, your husband is working in a factory. That makes the both of you lowlives. London, the only reason you married my boy is for his money, right? Huh? What's this all about? My son is working for a very large company at the moment, making a lot more than people his age. And to you, he is like the perfect ATM, right? But here's the problem. That wasn't quite the truth, and Axel actually ended up being a contractor to that company. So he isn't really making the amount of money you thought he was. And then you came to learn that his father is also not making as much as you'd like, since he's just working as a factory worker. Hence why you are now calling my husband and I lowlives and saying we don't have any money to cater to you with either. You are upset right now, and you are a bit bummed out because your plan of marrying my son for his money didn't work out. And so, find that to be good reason to act like a jackass now. That's right! I was freaking lied to! I didn't know that your son was just a contractor there, and that your husband only works at a factory. What the hell is wrong with your family being some of the most moneyless people ever? You had never talked with my husband much until after you married Axel, so I won't blame you for not knowing everything about him. But when it comes to Axel, you and him had been dating for a long time before you got married, so how come you didn't learn the truth about this line of work then? What? Well, it's too late for an answer to that, to affect anything now, so I'll leave it be. From what I'd heard, you have no idea what it means to be a contractor, do you? Huh? How do I have no idea about them? Of course, there are plenty of contractors who aren't making as much as they should be in their line of work. But in the case of my son, he someday plans to have a company of his own. And in order to get experience to put towards that company, he is going around doing work as a contractor for a few different companies. Also, Axel happens to be very skilled in the work he performs, so he's already making more than average contractor does, with plenty of bonuses as well. Are you serious? And as for my husband that you always call a lowlife, he's in charge of a factory he works at. Uh-huh? After graduating from trade school as an operator, he went and worked for the factory he's now at for 3 years. After those 3 years, he was asked to do more training for larger operations and then worked as a manager of a shift there for a bit. And once some time had passed and the previous leader of that factory left, he was promoted and took over. And he's been doing that for 3 years now. What? No way. Do you have something you'd like to say about this? Well, Hi, Lucas. Are you out of the house today?
Hello, London. What do you want with me right now?
I just wanted to apologize to you for not really ever talking to you at all before and after marrying your son. So, do you have time today to meet with me and chat? Well, if you have the time around noon, let's go out to eat and we can take your time talking to one another.
Around noon, I don't have any plans out of the house and was thinking of having lunch at home with the family.
What?
Today is the 4th of July, and because of that, I was able to get the day off work. And that means I'm going to be home all day today.
Ah,
That also means my son and wife are with me. Do you understand?
you're kidding, right?
No matter what you try and do to get me to go out with you, this is the last day you'll ever be hearing from me. And I think the same goes for the rest of my family.
The last day? Wait, does this mean what I think it means? You're going to be divorcing your wife?
Huh?
Oh no. That means things from now on are going to get a little more difficult for you, right? Well, if you still need me around, I'll be willing to live with you wherever you go.
Shut the hell up and get the hell out of my house now!
What? What the hell is going on? Your husband is a total asshole. He came out of his office and started to grab all my things and then tossed them out into the yard, yelling at me to get out of his house. Why the hell am I getting kicked out when it should be you getting kicked out of here in the divorce? Nobody ever said that I was getting divorced, though. The only person I'm aware of who will be going through that is you. What? You really seem to have done a great job lying to my older son, right? What are you talking about right now? There was a man you had been going out with before you married Axel, correct? That's a little... Well, Axel already had someone go and take a look at all that, and he has some great evidence now. Huh? You had planned on using my son as an ATM after marrying him, so that you could go out with that other man on more high-end dates. But when you started to try and get to who you thought was a weak man's money, he turned out to have a tight grip on his wallet. The only money you were able to manage from him was just enough to buy food for you guys while he was working, and that was it. So, you confronted him, and that's when he told you that he was a contractor, where you turned on him and started to complain about why he was giving you such a small amount of money, and that was all due with him being poor. But Helen... This is all stuff that Axel had brought up to his father and I the other night, so some of it might have been a little off. Could you please let me know if I missed something there? But Helen... But what? I never knew that there could be contractors making more money than proper employees make. And you only have your lack of knowledge and awareness to blame for that. Now that you understand that we all know the truth, I'll tell you why Axel was originally coming home. He wanted to be here, to start working on all the divorce papers with us. Divorce? He was going to go have some talks with partners of his about starting up his own company soon, but he didn't want to finish with those talks until after the divorce. So he chose to hold off on those plans and come here to finish everything up with you. There's nothing that can be done about it now. The divorce is set in stone. He can't do that to me. I'll break up with my boyfriend, all right? Breaking up with him now wouldn't help you any, and would probably only make things worse. But I've only just found out that Axel has been making good money this whole time. I can't allow him to get away from me now. No way! You're not even going to hide your true intentions now, are you? Well, at least I won't be the only one getting divorced then. You're going to lose your husband soon as well, right? That's why I don't care about telling you how I really feel about why I'm married to Axel. Dad, my husband and I aren't getting a divorce. Huh? But just a second ago your husband was talking about a divorce. And that's just another one of your delusions that you've been having. Because I was right next to him, looking at his phone while he texted you, and he typed out that Axel would be divorcing you. What? Now don't worry, because I'm showing everything you've told me to Axel right now. Wait! Hurry up and sign the papers, and then get the hell off our property and never come back. I don't want to leave! Now, make sure to talk with Axel about what else he has in store for you. I don't want you to, jerk! I don't care what you want, you big baby. What? I'm going now. Bye forever, London. Right after I stopped talking with London, Axel told me that he paid some of his friends to stop by his house and take all of his things out and start moving them to our place. This meant that he would start to live with us right away, and would only be going back to that house later when he needed to sell it. My husband and I later sat down for some drinks while my son was out of the house, and thought about what made our son fall in love with that girl while laughing. A few days later, we heard from Axel that he had gotten in touch with a lawyer, and would be getting a settlement from both London and her boyfriend. He was also able to get all the money she took from him and used on dates back, and then the divorce was finished, and he had no longer had to deal with her. After the divorce was complete, days went by where we were all able to get back to our normal lives and not have to worry about what happened to London after. However, 1 year after the divorce, we found out that both London and her boyfriend got arrested. When I went online to look up what happened with those two, it had to do with them having a fraud marriage or something. And well, they lied about getting married by forging some documents, and when the bank later found this out, they sent the police after them. I guess her boyfriend and her were in some real need of money, and went to those lengths to try and get some loans. At least the three of us in my family all were able to cut ties to her before something like that happened, and we all gave a big sigh of relief at the same time thinking about that. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of this story. See you at the next story. Goodbye!